Hello, welcome to Wally Voir, and I want to talk about my favourite glue, the one I use all the time, and that's Cascamite. Now, there are a few problems with it at the moment, and one is the fact that Polyvine have decided in their wisdom to actually, they've changed some of the ingredients because they're having problems with supply because of coronavirus. That I understand. Fine. Hopefully they rectify it, because this batch here is from earlier this year, before they made the changes, so the glue is still good. As far as I'm concerned, it's doing its job. It's not quite as good as it used to be, but it's still very good. But the only problem with I find with the Cascamite is that it's white. It's like a white powder, and when you're using hardwoods, which is relatively dark, the white shows up, or potentially can show up in the joint, especially if the joint's a bit gappy. Obviously, you don't want them to be gappy, but I found a solution. Well, I've been doing it for a while now, and it works really, really well. But what you need is obviously your Cascamite, which is your powdered resin wood glue, or urea formaldehyde. Yep, urea formaldehyde. Yes, it's carcinogenic. It's not that great, really, but it's a really good wood glue, and that is what this stuff is. Now, nice coffee. Yes, coffee. Right. What I do is I stain it. I dye my wood glue. Because it's a powder, it allows me to do so. Because obviously if you try to dye your PVA wood glue, you make it too thin because it's already at the right consistency. The fact that you actually have to mix powdered resin wood glue is a bonus, because you can actually add a dye into your powdered resin wood glue to colour it, whatever colour you like. Now in France, we're quite fortunate in that we can get this stuff. Bois de noir, no, as in like walnut. No. Anyway, it's a brown wood dye, and it's water based. Now that's quite handy because obviously we mix our Cascamite powdered resin wood glue with water, and when we mix it with the water, we do our thing and we mix it. So what I'm going to do is I'll quickly show you how I make my coloured powdered resin wood glue my way. My way? Yeah, my way. Well, same way, right? But anyway, it's my way because I kind of do things back to front when I mix my Cascamite. Anyway, if I can show you what I've mixed over here, here's some I prepared earlier, Blue Peter style. And as you can see, it's brown. Yeah, it's a light shade of brown. Now, you might think that's a little bit dark for your oak, but when you actually sand it, it becomes a little bit lighter, and also it dries a bit lighter. It works really, really well. You can use it as a filler if you want, like that, if you don't mind the finish. But it does work. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to mix them up for you. So basically all I do is I grab this. I should be wearing a mask, so if you don't wear a mask, I can't talk to you when I've got a mask on because I sound muffled. And lots of people don't understand what I'm saying anyway because I'm from Norfolk in the UK. So that's east. That's in the east. So I'm going to stick my powder in there like so, which I'm going to be using for my domino dowels on a frame. So I've got my powder in there. Okay. Normally, if you read the instructions, they tell you to put the water and then the powder. I find it turns into a curdled mess if you're not careful. So I do it the other way around. So I put the powder in, and I drop things on the floor. Anyway, I put the powder into my little mixing vessel, and then I add a little bit of dye. You can add a bit of coloured water if you want to, if you put your dye in the water, if that was your thing. But I'm just going to add a little bit of dye. And depending obviously what dye you use, depending on how much you're going to put in. Well, just for the purpose of this, I'm just going to put a tiny little amount like that in there. It's not a lot. Not a lot. As Paul Daniels would say. And then we kind of just start mixing that. Yeah, wear a mask. Start mixing that in like so. And then start adding the water a little bit at a time. So all I'm trying to do is create a bit of a paste to start with. And it's a bit like flour and water, really. You mix it until it kind of takes on the water, and you'll find that it turns into like so. Obviously, it's not finished mixing, and then I add a little bit more water until I'm satisfied. But be careful at this stage that you do not add too much water, because you might think, oh dear, I need to add more water. It's still too thick. You'll find as you mix it, it will become more fluid. Now you see that it's already brown. Sort of a browny beige colour. You put the amount of dye in that you need, And once you get the hang of it, depending on what material you use, if you're doing, say for instance, you're using walnut, you just put more in. You want a bit down like that. You might find you want to use that instead of water, because it does work. You can do that, because I have. And it's absolutely fine. So there you go. That is my wood glue that I have made into a brown wood glue. In this case, it's a funny brown, beigey colour. Anyway, I'll tell you what, I'll just quickly show what I've done over here, where I've glued a frame up, and you can see it's all oozing out there of the frame, and that is pretty much what I've done with this particular frame. I've dominoed it together, and I've used my coloured glue made from Cascamite Powdered Resin Wood glue. Anyway, I hope you found that of use, and yeah, if you can be most kind and give us a like and subscribe, and maybe click that little bell icon, because then you get a warm, fuzzy feeling in your pocket, and that will be me uploading another video. Anyway, I better get this door closed because it's pretty warm today, and my glue will go off for me. Well, you get a fair bit of work in time. Anyway, thanks for watching.